Coming up on Outside the Lines, first report.
Put me in, coach. I want to play. I want to win. And for what it means this week is being 16-0. So, yeah, I want it.
Though there's much to lose and not much besides history to gain, the Giants and Patriots players all want to suit up in Week 17. Should the coaches let them? Roger Clemens will finally take questions from the media about all the accusations of steroid use in the Mitchell report. Why is he waiting another week to do it? And in our centerpiece, a young man who gave Carolina fans so much joy gives life in death.
He said, "Don't you dare bury me if my body could help somebody else."
Jason Ray's greatest gift, now on Outside the Line.
And now, sitting in for Bob Lee, Steve Bunin.
There have been, says the coach, different distractions every week. Of course, the most prominent of those distractions for that coach, Bill Belichick of the Patriots, was self-inflicted. The Spygate scandal that swirled after the Week 1 win at the Meadowlands. The same site, New England's perfect regular season can end against the Giants Saturday night. Wendy Nix has the latest from Foxborough.
For the first time this week, Patriots quarterback in Foxborough, Wendy Nix, ESPN.
Of course, had the Giants not clinched a playoff berth last week, it'd be so much simpler. They would need to beat the Patriots to make the playoffs, and every Giant, the poor, the tired, the huddled masses, they would all yearn to breathe free. But should they breathe easy with nothing on the line? Nothing, that is, other than being the last adversary in the Patriots' pursuit of perfection.
Patriots are 15-0, and they have one more game to go before the playoffs begin and a chance to finish the regular season undefeated.
As the leader of the only team standing between the Patriots and a perfect season, Tom Coughlin faces a Shakespearean dilemma: to play or not to play. That is the Giant question.
We're always going to do what we have to do to win. The team that we're playing will have, they'll have to give some thought to that as well.
We're never going to just rest. We're going to challenge them. I mean, even if they weren't 15-0, we're still going to go in there and try to win that football game. But if winning is everything, isn't winning in the playoffs even more important? And if it is, doesn't Week 17 become more valuable as a quasi-bye week to rest up and not risk more injuries to an already banged-up team?
Most of the people in the league hope the Giants play all their starters, but they also understand that there's a good chance that they won't, and they can accept that. They know that Plexico Burress has been playing with a bad ankle injury and needs to rest. They know that Brandon Jacobs is so valuable with the ankle problems, it would probably be wise to keep him out. Hey, they'd like the Giants to play everybody, but they realize they probably won't.
Ironically enough, for weeks the Patriots have played all their guys, when an argument could be made that rest should have won out over risk. Now that history is just one win away, they've got all the motivation they need.
I'll do what's best for the football team, and that's what I do every week. I'll try to coach the team as best I can, this week, last week, every week.
I want to play, I want to win, and for what it means this week is being 16-0. So, yeah, I want it.
We want to win. We just want to win a ball game, that's all. I mean, you guys are making a big fuss about it, but it's business as usual for us.
The Giants players hope it'll be business as usual for them. Then they can make history, not go down in it.
I think we got as good a shot as anybody else. So I think we're a tough team to match on offense, and on defense, they're playing really well on the other side of the ball. So it's anytime you got defense playing as well as our defense playing, we always got a chance.
You don't really want to lose that edge that you have mentally by trying to relax a little bit and then going into the playoffs. You can't do that. So I mean, I think we're going to attack them just the same way. All our starters are expected to play, and we're just going to attack them.
We now welcome in Paul Schwartz, who covers the Giants for the New York Post, and Len Pasquarelli, senior NFL writer for ESPN.com. Paul, neither coach is really making any promises. What does Tom Coughlin's track record indicate he will do?
Well, Tom Coughlin has only had this one other time, 1998 in Jacksonville, and he played his starters in the last game. I think he will play his starters in this game. It's not a question of whether the players will start, it's whether they'll finish. I don't think they'll finish the game, but I do think starting out for the kickoff, all 22 starters will be out there.
Len, this is a big deal to the league. The news just crossed moments ago that they have blinked. They're now going to simulcast the game between the NFL Network, CBS, and NBC. So what is the league going to do to try to ensure that the Giants play at least some of their best players to keep the game from being a dog?
Well, I think right there, Steve, it speaks volumes for the importance of this game that the league has, in your words, blinked, and that there will be a simulcast of the game. What do they do to have the Giants be competitive? Not much. I think the Giants go into this game with some pride. Everybody would like to be the team that stops New England from being 16-0. That said, as Paul indicated, Tom Coughlin's probably going to play his starters. Will they finish? I kind of doubt that. Will Bill Belichick's starters finish? Those guys want to play. This game means something to them. I was there the other night when after their game, and for the first time, players admitted that 16-0 does mean a great deal to them.
Paul, Tony Dungy has said he will rest Peyton Manning. John Gruden going to be resting Jeff Garcia, and Wade Phillips will be resting Tony Romo. So what about Eli Manning? How much should we expect to see him play?
I think Eli will play with the starters. Obviously, you only have a certain amount of offensive linemen that you dress in the game, so most of them will play. I think Eli will be a part of that. Don't forget, Eli is coming off a very bad game against Buffalo, and he's really taken a dive the second half of the season. They want to get him on an uptick as best they can. Going against the Patriots is not an easy way to do that, but they want to get him feeling positive about himself going into the playoff game.
Len, might the league be secretly happier if the Giants do bench their starters? Because if the Patriots get to the Super Bowl, isn't 18-0 a better story than 17-1 with a shot at a perfect season?
Well, you know, the league wants you to think they're all about a competitive balance and this parity, but the league, I think, really loves this. The Patriots have gotten great ratings through the years. Everybody's on the bandwagon now. You know, the league showed today how much interest there is in the Patriots by deciding to simulcast this game. This is a huge story. I mean, this is history in the making. The Patriots know it, and certainly Commissioner Roger Goodell knows it as well.
Paul, Tom Brady took 6 quarterback hits against the Dolphins. If the Giants' biggest defensive strength is their pass rush, aren't they giving themselves basically no chance if they rest some of their defensive linemen?
Well, I think they'll start the game, and I think they'll kind of wait and see how the game goes. If they're close, maybe Tom Coughlin will be inclined to keep his players on the field a little longer, but he doesn't want to be baited into a situation where he's got his guys on the field the whole game and it jeopardizes him the next week in Tampa. But clearly, Osi Umenyiora, Justin Tuck, Michael Strahan, that is the best chance for the Giants to win, to put pressure on Tom Brady.
And Paul, what's the buzz among Giants fans on the street and on the radio and the call-in shows about what they want to see happen?
You know what? It's very interesting. It's like a mixed bag. There are some fans who say the integrity of the league, the integrity of the franchise, it's a home game. We want to win this game. We want to be the team that dethrone the Patriots. Obviously, there's a lot of feelings pro and con against Bill Belichick. And a lot of fans take the other extreme and say, game doesn't matter. We need to win a playoff game. Let's rest the guys. It's really a very interesting dilemma.
Len, as you talk to folks around the league, what do they think that the Patriots will do?
People around the league know Bill Belichick pretty well. Bill has been unwavering in his focus that we take one game at a time. This game will be no different. He's going to play to win this game. And if they have a huge lead perhaps in the second half, maybe we'll see Tom Brady come out of this game. But there's little doubt in my mind, having seen this team for 7 games, and this will be the 8th Patriots game I've covered, that they want to win this game and they want to win it badly.
Paul, when you talk to the players, who's been the most vocal about wanting to play and who's shed a little bit of light about, look, I'd like to rest up?
You know what? Plaxico Burress has been a guy who said, he said today, he practiced today for the first time in months and said, I want to play in the game. One day off is not going to give me a big deal leading into the playoffs. He's got a bad ankle. Everyone knows it. He said he wants to play. Brandon Jacobs has a bad ankle. He said, I'm 100%. There's no reason why I shouldn't play in this game. So the guys who are the most banged up are the guys who really seem like they want to get out there.
The Patriots have won 7 straight games in New Jersey, all those against the Jets. They haven't played the Giants at the Meadowlands since Week 17, 1996, which they also won. Paul Schwartz, Len Pasquarelli, thanks for joining us on Outside the Lines. All right, our poll question to you: should the Giants play everybody or rest their starters for the playoffs? Log on to ESPN.com to vote. All you got to do, head to the website, look for the Outside the Lines link, and you're off and running. You can vote in this poll, send us emails, and we may just put you on national TV. That's how easy it is. ESPN.com, scroll down, bang, Outside the Lines. Everything you need to have is right at your fingertips. Still ahead, Roger Clemens goes on the offensive, but not for another week and a half. Why the wait? Bob Knight gets publicly reprimanded. See what he did this time. And in our centerpiece, a mature decision by a young Tar Heel saves lives. His death leaves behind a proud but devastated father.
I told him I'd see him again. I also told him I'd swap places with him if he'd get up.
At this hour on Outside the Lines First Report, free agent pitcher Mark Pryor agrees to terms with the San Diego Padres. According to Buster Olney of ESPN the magazine, the former #2 overall pick gets a one-year major league deal for $1 million, up to $3 million with incentives. Roger Clemens' attorney says Clemens will finally meet with the media on January 6th to answer questions about his alleged steroid use. That's the same night his interview with Mike Wallace airs on 60 Minutes. The attorney also says he's starting his own investigation about the allegations. The Big 12 has reprimanded Bobby Knight for blasting the refs after a game 2 weeks ago against New Mexico. The Texas Tech coach thought a Lobos half-court halftime buzzer beater shouldn't have counted, and after the game said, "I thought it was a horrendous call." Next, a beloved member of the Tar Heel family dies, but the biggest decision of his life changes 5 families forever, including his own.
At first, though, I thought, well, those people that got his organs, their prayers were answered, and mine wasn't. But God had a plan. He had to have a plan for all this.
College mascots can be as entertaining as the games at which they cheer, as popular as the players themselves. After all, they hang with the cheerleaders, they sign autographs, appear in SportsCenter commercials. But the men and women who dress up as mascots touch people's lives in anonymity. For the thousands of lives Jason Ray touched as North Carolina's mascot, they pale in comparison to the lives he has touched in death. Lisa Salters has the story.
Selection Sunday, 2000.
Lisa Salters reporting. The man who got Jason's heart, Ronald Griffin, spent part of the Thanksgiving holiday with Jason's parents in North Carolina. And last week, according to Newsday, the Hunters, whose son Antoine got Jason's kidney, helped support legislation in New Jersey to require a decision about becoming an organ donor when applying for a driver's license. A politician says New Jersey would be the first state to do so. Coming up on College Football Live, we talk about the games on the field. Matt Flynn split snaps at quarterback for LSU this season. How many does he have to take for the Tigers to beat Ohio State in the BCS title game? All right, you've logged on and you're telling us 59% of you saying the Giants should play everybody. Only 41% say rest for the playoffs. To recap the news that broke just about a half hour ago, the NFL will simulcast the Giants-Patriots game Saturday night on both CBS and NBC, as well as the NFL Network. Much more on SportsCenter at 6 o'clock.